What's going on, you guys? Hope everybody had a nice holiday. Hope you didn't eat too damn much because you got to get your ass back to the gym. But we got some shit to talk about, man. We got some shit to talk about today. Of course, we got some fights coming up tomorrow night. We go get a preview of these fights to come. Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos, Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. And of course, we're going to talk about the other things that's been going on in the boxing community. Of course, the Crawford Spence saga, it continues. And Demetrius Boo Boo Andre putting pressure on Jamal Charlo via WBC to become a mandatory to fight him. So we got a lot of shit to talk about, amongst other things, right? Random live stream kind of came out of nowhere. Hit that like button for your boys. You come on in. You know we got some shit to talk about. Teofimo Lopez is coming out with excuses already going into this fight with ferocious George Kambosos. He did a good job of turning fans off, man. Some of these fighters do too much to the point where you don't become a fan. You ain't a fan no more. Teofimo Lopez is one of those guys that seem to have done a really good job of turning off a mass majority of boxing fans. Dude could fight, talented, exciting. But once he get on that mic, once he start talking, it's like, okay, man, you can shut up now. Because you're talking in circles and you're really looking like a buster out here. But he said quite a bit leading up to this fight with George Kambosos. A lot of people may not think he's as serious as he needs to be. But then again, he's against George Kambosos, and most people not giving George a chance to win. George, on the other end, has been pretty quiet, and he's been doing nothing but working. That's it. Just working. So this is a fight where it's going to be talent versus the hard work. Will the hard work pay off? We go see. I honestly rooting for George Kambosos to pull off the victory. And I typically don't go against the American fighter. But in this case, I feel that Teofimo Lopez needs to be humbled. He's been dismissive of Devin Haney all of a sudden, saying, oh, well, he got to come up to 140 now. And, this guy, salute to everybody in the building. I know this is a random live stream. A lot of people feel the same way, Red Kelly, about Teofimo. A lot of people. I mean, we all liked him. I mean, he was dope, But as soon as he got them belts, he started moving different. When a man got something to lose, that's when you see who they really are. You know what I'm saying? When there's something to lose, that's when you see who these dudes really are. We found out early for Teofimo. So he's a young guy. So going into the future, we're going to be looking at him like, shit. You know what I'm saying? But that should be a good fight. Kambosos looks good. But Teofimo, I mean, we've seen what he can do. Could Kambosos deal with Teofimo Lopez's power? Who knows? He's the better athlete. He's probably better in every aspect. So really, George Kambosos on paper has no chance to beat Teofimo Lopez. No chance. Then, of course, we got Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. That should be a good fight. Of course, it was postponed because of Figueroa testing positive for COVID-19. But unlike these other guys like Teofimo, who claimed to have COVID, Brandon Figueroa showed receipts that he actually really did have it. And honestly, he never struck your boy as a guy that'll duck smoke anyway. I just never saw that. Salute to everybody that's coming to the building. We got to wait till people get in here. I didn't give the schedule or nothing like that long enough. I just want to get this show on the road because we just got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about what these other bozos have been talking about too. I heard that some of the bigger channels, some of your favorite YouTubers have come out and lied to thousands telling people that Errol Spence requested this mandatory or some shit. We're going to talk about that shit. That's some crazy shit, man. Yeah. Yes, Obsidian. He needs some humbling, man. Teofimo needs some humbling. Is George the guy to do it? I don't know. He seems extremely determined and extremely focused. So and Teofimo seems to have been taking him lightly. And then he say he's injured going into the fight. He's already coming up with excuse. Teofimo, man, he a buster, bro. I'm sorry, dude. Lomachenko losing to him was bad. It was bad for the division. It was bad for the division. Him beating Lomachenko was not good for boxing. Because at least Lomachenko was a guy who already had the bullseye on his back and he knew how to move in one. Now, of course, they threw that franchise tag on him. He claims that he didn't even want the shit, but that's what they did to protect him from Devin Haney for whatever reason. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I felt that it would have been better if Lomachenko was still the guy because he ain't got that much time to be bullshitting around, so he would have been fighting these dudes. But Teofimo, oh man, he'll be playing games. Would you go up 140? You ain't gonna fight Prograis, are you? Hell the fuck no. Actually, I want to do a video on Prograis. Regis Prograis is very, very fucking underrated. Very underrated. He arguably beat Josh Taylor too. Yeah, I said it. But I'm gonna do a video on him later, man. But yeah, he ain't gonna go up there and fight guys like that. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Nothing. And then they saying Devin Haney came out and said that, you know, dude complaining about his weight. You know, they believe he's having weight issues. And I believe this is what Kambosos and them said as well, that this dude is having weight issues. And if you've been paying attention to Teofimo for the past few months, his physique has been looking pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's been looking shredded for months now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We gonna see how this dude look in this fight. I think if George Kambosos can find a way to make it to the later rounds, and if he still got some fight left in him and shit, if he ain't been getting beat up, I think he could possibly make something happen in later rounds against Teofimo Lopez. Because he do got some skills, but do he got the power? Do he got, you know, certain things that's needed to deal with a guy like Teofimo, who may be the naturally bigger guy? So we gonna see how that plays out. But yeah, the Figueroa Fulton fight should be a good one. You know, Figueroa came out and said, "I'm so tired of people doubting me, and I don't even care no more." So you know he gonna come out and bang. You know he gonna come to fight. That's what the Figueroa brothers do. You know what I'm saying? They come to fight. So that should be a good fight, but I got Fulton winning that fight. There's not too much story behind that one. It's just something that needed to happen. You know, the best fighting the best. And I think Fulton is going to win that. I think Fulton's going to win that fight. Should be a good night of fighting. You know, Figueroa comes to fight. He throws a lot of punches. He's tough. He's pretty big. Fulton's pretty big as well, actually. But it should be a good fight, man. Man, we go cook on Arrow and them too. We go cook on these dudes. You know what I'm saying? We go get them because they trying to change the narrative. They trying to change the narrative. They trying to act like what happened didn't happen. You know, these guys putting a lot of effort into changing the narrative. It gets hard to defend a lie after so long. We get after a while, you know, they trying to really deflect on Errol Spence and push it off on Keith. Of course, Keith claimed he wanted to fight. Bud said he wanted, why not fight sooner? You know, 8 months is a while from now. But he said, why not fight sooner? Not do, you know, like, I mean, it don't matter who Crawford fight at this point. Let's just be honest. It ain't gonna matter who Crawford fights. It just won't matter because no matter who he fights, they go find something. And it's already built in excuses for most of these guys who gets lost many times already. Keith Thurman, oh, well, you know, he's coming off a loss and he's been on a layoff and he hasn't looked good since. Errol Spence, oh, well, you know, he been in an accident and he ain't been living the most disciplined lifestyle. He's an eye injury too. You know, it was an excuse for Kell Brook. It was an excuse for Sean Porter. It's going to always be an excuse for the rest of Terrence Crawford's career. Period. That's just what it's going to be. He go up there and whoop on Jamal. Oh, well, you know, Jamal been at that weight for too long. He should have been moved up with Jamal. I mean, Jamel. Jamel been at the weight too long. He should have been moved up with Jamal. It's going to be excuses every day. And now they fixing fights for Terrence Crawford. And now they fixing fights for Bud. That shit crazy. Hit that like button for your boys. You come on in the building. It's fight week. We got some fights coming up. We see a lot of bullshit circling through the boxing streets. A lot of your favorite YouTubers just ain't keeping it real when it comes to this Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence situation, the Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andre situation. It's just not keeping it real. I mean, if you go beef for black fighters, beef for all black fighters. Bottom line, don't just pick and choose. You got to be for all of them. There is no reason why Demetrius Andre should be out here screaming for these dudes to fight him. No reason why. Oh, yeah, Obsidian Line Kobe. It's mostly black people against Crawford. Absolutely. It is. Yep. It is. It's mostly black people. It ain't nobody else. Most of the world thinks Crawford is an excellent fighter, except for the guys that feel that he's a threat to Canelo Alvarez's pound for pound status. But other than that, most people acknowledge Terrence Crawford as a bad motherfucker, except for a lot of other black guys who feel that Errol Spence may be that guy. However, the world is telling us, the landscape of boxing is telling us that Terrence Crawford is that guy. But the only way for us to truly know this is if they get in the fucking ring. And Badu walking away from the fight, trying to hurry to get out the building and shit, just so he won't get hounded by questions for the fight and shit. That's what it was. That's not a good sign. And this is why your boy Bushido been telling you guys Crawford should go after Thurman, because there's a high probability that he won't get the Spence fight. This ain't hit that like button. This ain't something that they really wanted. This ain't something they wanted right now. They wanted to hold Crawford out until Errol Spence gained enough experience and became the super D-duper A-side in the process. However, he had a lot of roadblocks along the way. So now he's trailing behind this guy who's still looking like he's sharp, still looking strong, looking stronger than ever, and still just as mean as he was 5 or 6 years ago. And they have seemed to lost some of that fire. Not to mention, it's a bad matchup stylistically. They gonna make as much money as they gonna make at this point. How much money you looking to make? You the super A-side, right? Sell the fucking fight then and tell Crawford to get in the ring. Floyd didn't come up with these. He picked and choose who he wanted to fight because he knew he was the A-side anyway. Canelo pick and choose these guys. Why? Because he knows he's the A-side anyway. It don't matter who I fight. But see, he's in a position to where he could advance cherry pick and shit. Certain Errol Spence isn't necessarily in that type of position. He's not that big of a draw to really fully dictate every move he makes. However, a good start would be to beat Terrence Crawford, a guy that they see as the best fighter in the world, a guy that many people feel that you're avoiding. So what you go do? What do you go do, Charlo? Let's get on him. Let's get on him. You've been running from Boo Boo Andre for about 7 years now. Oh, I'm not a matchmaker, bro. Turning down big offers. Right? See, these dudes got too Hollywood, man. They lost that fire, bro. He up in here telling people, oh, why would I fight Benavidez? I'm rich already, or he ain't got no belts. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not okay with it. You're not gonna get that. See, on Bushido boxing, there's no agenda here. The only agenda here is the best to fight the fucking best. That's the only agenda here. The best fighting the best. Everybody wins when the best fight the best. The sport does better when the best fight the best. And another thing, too, for the pocket watchers, the boxing accountants, the fanagers, when we talk boxing, throwback boxing more particularly, we don't talk about how much money they had. We don't talk about any of that. We don't talk about who's the A-side and how many tickets they sold. We don't know any of that. We don't talk about it. We talk about the fights. And they talk about them fights. How many a real box fan talk about each of these fights many times over? Guess what? We never talk about the purses. Well, we may have heard they had money in their day, riding Cadillacs, owning strips. Yeah, we heard about it, but that wasn't the main thing. The main thing was the legendary fights. But see, this is this post Mayweather era, Errol Spence, big fish bullshit. It's become a tactic to where fans. It's a tactic to where fans protect their favorite fighters. They see their favorite fighter moving funny, so they say, instead of pulling back or instead of pressing the issue, like, look, man, you got to make the fight collectively as a group of fans. No, they just sit here and come up with business excuses as to why the fight ain't ready and all types of other shit. These dudes in their 30s already. And strange enough, the guys that really seem to be pressing for these fights almost blackballed. It's almost wrong. It's almost taboo. Like, if I didn't know any better, if I was new to the sport, I would have thought it was wrong for these guys to try to call out guys like Canelo and Errol Spence and Jamal Charlo and everybody else who's getting called out. And it's not like these guys are getting called out by upstarts and prospects. No, they're getting called out by well-established champions, proven fighters. You got over 30-some wins, you're a proven fighter, regardless of who you fought at this point. You somewhat proven. You proven it. 30 fucking fights. So where Jamal Charlo at? Yeah, I agree. Canelo can't fight everybody because he's not going to. So why don't y'all fight each other and freeze his ass the fuck out? Take the spotlight from Canelo because he's still in the shine from everybody. He's still in the shine. No matter who he fights, it's go shine over there. So y'all need to take some of that by fighting each other. But see, it's going to take effort from boxing fans to make that type of fight happen. It's going to take the effort from the fans. It's going to take the sanction bodies. This is why guys like Boo Boo and Bud are going to these sanction bodies, become mandatories to fight these guys. So by them becoming mandatories, by default, they're taking a lesser cut, right? Because they're mandatory to fight that guy. So by default, they'll probably get the lesser cut of the split, whatever it's going to be. Right? So they're willing to take a less cut, obviously, if that's how that's supposed to play out in that scenario. They're requested to be mandatory for their titles. So they probably get the lesser cut because they ain't necessarily sanctioning those bodies. I don't know how that's going to work. But obviously they want them motherfucking fights. I know that much. To request to become a mandatory to fight another champion. Instead of this champion having a boss to go ahead and get this shit over with. Salute to everybody in the building. What's up, Kofi's Universe? Y'all go subscribe to Kofi's Universe. What's going on, WJ Luckett? I see you. Zolife 813. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah, hey, because legacy lives forever, bro. Legacy lives forever. Yeah, having wealth and money is good. Yeah, absolutely. But legacy lives forever. This is why guys like Roy Jones and Mike Tyson can get up in there at 50-some years old and still make something happen and still make some millions. Because of the legacy they built. If they was nobodies, they wouldn't be able to do it. This is why guys like Frank Mir and, guys is, still MMA legends is still around, able to make some money. Come on, man. But see, we're dealing with a whole different group of new fight fans. See, on Bushido Boxing, there's no protected fighters here. When it's time to fight, it's time to fight. How much more marinating you need to do before the shit too damn salty? You know what I'm saying? Jerry Siricon says, I want Crawford to have a unification bout with Ugas to capture that belt and have a huge pay-per-view fight against Josh Taylor over in the UK, then move to 154 capture, then retire. That sounds like a nice scenario, a good plan B, C option. If he's not able to get Spence, Spence will post a video of him training, but for what? For who? Give us a timeline. Give us something to look forward to. Now you don't want to do it. You don't want to poke the hornet's nest. You don't want to poke the hornet's nest. And you got a whole legion of fans to do all the leg work for you. They'll take the bullets and the stings and shit for you. Out here looking crazy as hell, talking about that was a fixed fight. So there's no reason why in 2022 that we shouldn't get Charlo Andrade or Crawford Spence. But I doubt it. Jamal Charlo don't seem too eager to fight anybody with a post, if I'm honest. Strong fighter, but I don't think he just don't seem to have that ambition to really want to go prove he's the best. He's living too fucking good. Big ass mansion like a mall and shit. Living way too fat to even give a fuck about boxing for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take some crazy shit for them dudes to get fights with these guys, man. They living too fucking good. Too damn comfortable. Salute to Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Y'all go subscribe to my boy Pound for Pound. He says hit that like button, super chat, sub, and keep cooking. That's right. Y'all go subscribe to Pound for Pound. Share one of his latest videos in the community tab, asking why the excuses every time Terrence Crawford wins. Go check out this video. You said Lopez about to stop him? I mean, he probably will, man. But I honestly hope Lopez gets knocked out. Or I hope he loses. Or looks bad. Yeah, it sounds like some hater shit, but I'm not feeling Teofimo, man. He needs to be humbled. He ain't done nothing for him to be so goddamn Hollywood already. Hey, they said Sean fight was fixed. They said this. They said that. Anything to discredit Crawford. Anything. Because Spence got up out of there and left. And instead of them like, damn, how can I defend this? They find ways. Oh, well, you get sued. Oh, well, Bomac said he couldn't get in the ring. Oh, he didn't want to get hounded by fans. Yeah, I heard so many different things already. It's like, what are y'all going to come up with next? Oh, he had to go boo-boo? He had to run to the bathroom? I'm disappointed more than anything. That shouldn't even, like, man, that's crazy, bro. Like, if you wasn't impressed with this dude, right? If you wasn't impressed with Terrence Crawford's performance, how come you come pull a GSP? Y'all remember GSP, right? One of the greatest mixed martial artists ever, right? The Canadian guy. Bad motherfucker. Put up on Matt Hughes. His not protege, but what's the one before that? The one before you. Put up on him and told him, I was not impressed with your performance. Sound like a robot, but it went viral for years. Pulled up on dude and told him he was not impressed with his performance. Guess what? They fought. They fought like 2 or 3 times. So if you wasn't impressed with Crawford's performance, you should get up in the ring and told him that. Then we could get ready to cook for 2022. Something we can look forward to. So everybody can get their shit together so they could be up at this fight so they could pack the house. You got to start building a fight. It seemed like Crawford wants to try to start something to build something, but Spence he ain't budging. He ain't going. He ain't giving us nothing. They could have been started the real build up, but it's been us fans over the years keeping this thing alive. The media guys asking questions. Salute to Obsidian and Lion Coldkeeper for the super chat. The big one. He says, I matched that pound for pound and raise it. Boxing Bushido boxer keep his foot on their neck. That's right. That's right. Always, bro. Because I see the game. I see that it's so one-sided in the boxing community. So one-sided. All the bigger channels, they get pushed out in front. So they word and they voice get heard more. And a lot of it be bullshit and don't be the truth. A lot of it be false narratives. A lot of it be simply what these guys, they be listening, want to hear. But truth of the matter is, guys like Charlo been ducking Demetrius Andrade for years. He don't even want to mention that dude's name at all. What he is, man. What is it? What is it? They say fighters aren't scared. I feel otherwise. That fight's gonna be big as it's gonna be. Triple G ain't trying to fight you. Jaime ain't trying to fight you. None of them other guys trying to fight y'all. So what you gonna do? Y'all got to make money with each other. Oh, but guess what? You make too much money. Why would you even fight a guy like Benavidez? So it's like, what the fuck? And this is what's going on in boxing. So Mauricio Suleiman, he needs to mandate those fights. He said he wants to see the best fight the best, then go ahead and mandate those fights to see who's really real. They're going to have to fight. And we already know Mauricio Suleiman ain't putting no franchise tag on no brothers. It sounds fucked up, I know, but this is for the better of boxing. We can't have a nice little middleweight division without the best fighting the best. We can't have no nice welterweight division without the best fighting the best. If you for black boxing, you should be for this black fight. God. Let me see what the comments saying, man. Hey, they if they put the mandatory on these dudes, hey, that's right, Kofi Universe. They have agendas and they perpetrate false narratives. Exactly. Over here, there's no agendas. The only agenda is the best fighting the best. That's it. That's just how simply as I could put it. The best fighting the best. There's no agendas. You know, I have guys that I feel may be the best, but I truly just don't know until I see it. And in order for that to happen, these fights got to get made. But fans do such a good job of fucking up the boxing universe's timelines and stupid shit. Like I said before, I blame Spence fans for Spence not being where he needs to be to deal with Crawford right now. I blame his fans. That's right. I blame his fans. They're too soft on dude. They're way too soft on dude. Hey, they don't like that, WJ. They hated that Sean Porter said Crawford's the best guy. They hated that these guys say Crawford is the best guy they've been in the ring with. Amir Khan said the same thing. A lot of these dudes say Bud Crawford is that fucking guy. Let's see what else. Yeah, Wilder definitely, and looking back on it, Kofi, Wilder definitely should have took a tune-up before hopping in there with Fury again, honestly. But he did it his way, man. I got to respect Wilder. He talks the talk, he walks the walk. If there's any guy on the PBC side that actually talks the talk and walks the walk, it's Deontay Wilder. He said he's willing to die up in that motherfucker and fight by the sword and all that, and you saw that in the third fight. Got a lot of love for the Bronze Bomber. But yeah. Teofimo Lopez, it'll be good. I think it'll be good if Kambosos wins. Not just my opinion. It sounds like some hating shit, but Teofimo Lopez, I feel, needs to be humbled. I think that if Kambosos wins, we'll see another fight with Lomachenko over there in Australia, probably. You know, Kambosos probably won't be out here ducking smoke. He may do a little mandatory fight for his country because that'll be big for those guys over there. He'll probably do a little mandatory and then fight like Loma or somebody, and then end up losing against Loma. Loma come back over here and finish doing what he's doing. And Teofimo Lopez and carry his little ass on up to 140 and get beat up by Josh Taylor or Regis Prograis. He said, look at you. He said, you came up in the boxing world. Man, I'm trying. I'm on the road to 10,000 subs, man. Yeah, those are my favorites too, WJ. Wilder and Bud. It's a different pick. Because a lot of people that like Wilder tend to not like Crawford and vice versa. And I wouldn't mind Kambosos win. He said Loma gets too many opportunities. I mean, shit, bro. Loma's going to be that guy that's going to get a lot of opportunities, man. Honestly. Unless he goes on a consistent losing streak, Loma's always going to have opportunities because he's going to be winning until he really starts to fade. You know what I'm saying? I like Loma, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like the little narratives they push out for him. And he don't seem to like to get caught up in that either, but they try to push him as the Floyd Mayweather, better than Floyd and better than Ali. And I never got caught up into that shit, man. But I watch Loma as a fighter, and I like him as a fighter. He seems like a serious fighter, and I like his fighting style, his skill set. It's dope. Yeah, man. It's hard to I don't know. I mean, shit. 35 people, the shit. I had my most earlier this week. It was like 100 something. It's hard to get people in these live streams, man. Unless you like Blue Blood or somebody, or maybe for 9 or 7-8, they be having like hundreds of people. Showbiz be having thousands on fight nights. I mean, shit. Y'all gotta support your boy. Yeah, that better than Ali. That's what I said. The media really love to build him up. I try not to get too caught up into it, but it's hard not to. But I mean, I like Lomachenko, man. I think Lomachenko's dope. He's one of my favorite boxers, man. I think Lomachenko's dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? I just try not to get too caught up into the bullshit that surrounds him. Man, Lopez don't want to fight Haney, bro. He don't want to fight Haney. He's talking about Haney got to come up to 140. Haney should go up to 140 after him, too. Just keep chasing him. Fuck it. Y'all young. Keep chasing him. You can run for a long time. Keep chasing him. Keep chasing him. Keep chasing him. Keep chasing him. These guys don't know how to build fights either. I've been watching that Shannon Briggs Rampage shit. That shit is comedy. Love it. I think after they fight or whatever they do, they should do like a little podcast together. It'll be great. Commentating on boxing and MMA fights or something. Those guys are hilarious together. But that's how you build a fight. These guys are consistently arguing with each other, going on social media with each other. They had their first face-off with each other, and they fucking building a fight. Hopefully it happens. Shannon Briggs looking like he's scared now and old because Rampage looking like a fucking gorilla. So he don't like he really want to deal with him like that. But hey, it could all be part of the sell to fight, man. So I mean, these boxers need to take notes, man. These younger guys, Crawford and Spence. Spence needs to give the fans something. Charlo need to give the fans something. When you go and say Demetrius Andre's name, Demetrius Andre is probably the most feared fighter I've seen, bro. He don't even come off as an intimidating guy. He's like a jokester. And these dudes running from him like he's the Grim Reaper. They don't even want to say his name. Jamel will say his name, but he'll also say the same note that he'll put him on a black card that he ain't getting a fight. There's no money for you in this boxing world. I just want to see the best fight the best, man. That's it. That's it. Hey, I hope Kambosos wins too, AJ. Salute. I hope Kambosos win, man. I like his dedication. He seems really focused and dedicated. He seems like he's working hard to really pull it off. And it's hard for me not to root for such an underdog, honestly. That's a tall order, though, man. Would I bet my house on it? Absolutely not. But I'm rooting for him. I don't know if he's going to win, but I'm actually rooting for him to win. You know what I'm saying? I want him to beat up Tio, and I want him to get humbled. Because Teofimo, man, he got them belts. He started moving like a diva right away. He ain't packing a house nowhere. Nobody know who Teofimo Lopez is. I mean, he done a good job of kind of getting himself out there. I see he building up his following. So he's putting in that work. Hey, AJ, that's definitely the problem in boxing, bro. That's definitely the problem. Who is he fought? What you mean, who is he fought? It don't matter who he fought. Who did Caleb Plant fight? Nobody. Guess what? He got the Canelo Alvarez lottery ticket, right? The golden ticket right at his doorstep. While he's sleeping in the bed with his grandparents and his mama and them, all cramped up in one house, waiting to go to the factory to get did in. Come on, man. That's a bunch of nonsense in boxing. Charlo don't want no smoke with Andre, man. No smoke. And watch, next fight we hear from Jamal Charlo, it's going to be somebody we don't care about at all. He don't want to fight no tough fighters, man. But he'll take these weird fights like the Lomachenko or the Montiel, these weird, high risk, low reward type of fights where he can kind of look bad. And why keep fighting these fights where he can continue to stay stale? To where one of these dudes lump you upside your head and you end up losing. He ain't gonna fight Boo Boo next year. He ain't gonna do it. That fight ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen at all. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. He's just gonna let it wane out. He's gonna let it wane out. Unless mandated, he may end up vacating and going up. Then he will have to see Benavidez, because that's Benavidez's house. He don't want to deal with Benavidez. But yeah, it's funny that these dudes come out and tell thousands of people that Spence actually asked for the mandatory or whatever. I also saw something to where Spence was fighting Ugas. It's like, wait a minute, what? Hey, Dead Game Boxing. He says it's Ronnie Shields. Yeah. Ronnie Shields don't have a personal problem, but he probably tells Jamal all the time to stay away from that guy. That's a bad fight for you. He's southpaw. He's awkward. He could do a lot of different things. He probably fight a lot of different ways. He probably been playing possum. Who knows? These old heads know boxing. Ronnie Shields showed no interest in having Jamal get in that ring. Derek James shows no interest of having Errol Spence get in that ring. Straight up. Let's call a spade a spade. Both of these dudes' trainers show no interest in their guys fighting these guys. Why? Because they see that they those dudes are bad fights, bad styles. But it's okay. You got to take a chance. You might fucking win. But see, me saying that right there is taboo because I'm being selfish and it's about these guys' health and their money and all this other stuff, right? It'll be selfish for me to say this if they was in Christopher Colbert, Shakur Stevenson, when they're still young fighters, they could still, these dudes in their 30s already. They've been around for a long time. They are undefeated. What's the holdup? All four of these guys are undefeated still. All four of these guys I'm talking about right now, Charlo, Andre, Spence, and Crawford are still undefeated fighters. I mean, there's pressure on all that, bro. And I get it. I get it with the pressure on Canelo. I mean, but come on, bro. We know those dudes are bona fide cowards, bro. They are bona fide cowards, bro. It's the same thing that they did to the black fighters back in the day. This is why the Black Murderers World became a thing, because the black fighters got frozen out. Hell, Jack Johnson couldn't even fight for the world title because they didn't want a black champion, bro. It's the same shit today. It's the same shit today. A lot of the black fighters are getting frozen out from some of the bigger fights. So it's going to be upon the black fighters to fight each other to make some of the best fights, to steal some of that spotlight. That's what it's going to take. Crawford and Spence. Wilder and Joshua. Charlo and Andre. We know them other motherfuckers ain't going to get in the ring with these dudes. Triple G. Oh, he's too much. Canelo, horrible fighter. Jaime Munguia, mandatory, don't want to fight. Ryan Garcia, mandatory, don't want to fight. Devin Haney getting ran from by everybody. They don't want to fight Dev. He shows vulnerability in fights. He's talented. He looks good, strong. But he shows vulnerability. Guess what? His guys like Jojo Diaz is going to step up, though. Salute to Jojo. He says, Ugas Stanley is going to purse bid 12-18. Yep. That's what it is. Yeah, I feel that there should be. I mean, shit, we've been pressuring Triple G to fight guys for a long time, bro. They ain't gonna listen. And guess what? It's guys like, here we go. Here we go. Blue Blood says, Sean Porter reveals he didn't train for Terrence Crawford fight. Quote, I didn't listen to Dad. Well, he kind of been said that, though. They just looking for shit to kind of feed the narrative, and that Terrence Crawford, they just trying to water down Bud's victory. Man, fuck them dudes, bro. Fuck them dudes, bro. Because they try to be for black fighters, but then they doing shit like this. Just let it be what it's gonna be. Terrence Crawford got the fucking win. Y'all thought Sean Porter was gonna be tougher than that for him. Just say you was wrong. Instead of just trying to push these narratives. Yeah, Sean Porter said that he didn't listen to his dad because he's at this point where, like, shit, I'm not doing that. I need to take all I need to have for this fight. That's what Sean said. He said for the first time in his career, he told his dad, no, I'm not doing that because I need to have something for the fight to go into the fight with this guy. So now you go see this narrative from this guy, Blue Blood, that's going to make it look like Porter didn't really do shit for the fight, that he didn't train, to water down Crawford's victory, just like they watered down Brooke and everybody else he fought. Horn gave Manny Pacquiao hell. How did Manny struggle with such a guy? Guess what? Terrence Crawford ran dude out the ring. Oh, well, Horn was never that good. He didn't really beat Pacquiao. Oh, well, Kell Brook was shot. Come on, it's going to always be this shit, bro. Just like I said. Like I said at the beginning of the live. Whoever Crawford beat, it's going to always be something. It's never going to be just a clean-cut victory. Yep, that's what they saying. Yeah, and Ugas in Stanionis is bullshit. Ugas should have an opportunity to unify his division and go off and make a lot of money and retire. Now he got to fight this fucking this prospect, this tough young prospect for nothing. For nothing. He should go up from there and beat the shit out of Stanionis. That's those two tough fights in a row for Ugas that he could possibly lose, man. We've seen Ugas look bad in fights that he should be looking bad in. Fucked up for Ugas, man. So he's out of the unification picture. So what Spence go do? That's the question. Instead of guys like Blue Blood using his big following to tell you the truth, to tell you that Errol Spence should be fighting Crawford in 2022, he gonna find reasons to further diminish and dismiss Terrence Crawford. Why? Because it's lucrative. It's the popular thing to do. It's lucrative to do that. That's why. These guys know the same truths that we be speaking on this motherfucking show, on these smaller channels. They know. Same shit Goodfella be saying to everybody else. They know. But instead, it's more lucrative for them to go against the grain, to say that, the big fish and, Terrence Crawford really ain't shit. He really didn't beat Porter and his dad threw in the fight. It's more popular for them to do that. It's more lucrative for them to do that. Instead of telling the motherfucking truth. Instead of this being for quote unquote all black fighters. That's my beef with guy groups like the LDBC and shit. If you go be for black fighters, be for all black fighters. And if it comes down to black fighters having to fight each other, well, may the best brother win. Because there's a lot of brothers out here being starved out. Gary Russell Jr. can't find a fight. You see his next opponent they making him fight? Come on. Dude bigger than Sean fucking Porter. Because he can't get no work out here. Black fighters out here starving, but they only focus on Spence and the Charlos. Purse wearing niggas. Stop playing with me, man. Hit that like button for your boy, man. Somebody's punishing Ugas, Kofi. Somebody's punishing Ugas for beating Pacquiao, bro. That wasn't supposed to happen. Man, they stalling. I mean, it's a lot of guys. So if you're going to be for black fighters, be for all of them. Boo-Boo out here trying to get work. Guess what? They don't like Boo-Boo. Why? Because he's pressing Charlos. He's been pressing Charlos. Well, I mean, they got to fight. Triple G and them dudes ain't go, man, come on. They fan bases are going to truly protect them. So in order for one of these guys to get a fight with one of them dudes, they going to have to, yeah. It's the Black Murderers Row shit all over again, man. It's the same shit. Think about all the fighters that's really avoided, the top fighters, the top guys that's avoided in boxing. Think how they fucking think of the demographics and shit. Certain dudes. You said, nah, I think collectively everybody's tired of Charlos. I'm tired of Charlos too, man. Tired of the Charlos. When you go to fight somebody, Jamal. Jamel fighting. Hey, I don't know, Mario Virgil, but they'll come out and say some shit like that. A real catchy clickbaity title. And then they don't tell you the truth, the full story. Sean Porter literally said, "Look, I didn't. This is the camp where I really didn't listen to my dad. Normally I do everything he say, but for this particular fight, I didn't do everything. I just told him no, because I didn't tell him this, but deep down I knew that I needed something to have something to go into the fight with him." That's what Sean said. So hopefully Blue Blood tells everybody that instead of just misleading people with these titles. So now you're going to be hearing that Crawford beat a untrained Sean Porter, all that, just to water the victory down. Even though Crawford stopped him and got him out of there. There's nothing Terrence Crawford could do to ever show people that he's really that good until he's really gone. Unfortunately for him, it's a lot of black people that's doing this shit. Mostly all black people, honestly. I don't really see nobody else outside of the Canelo fans who may feel Bud is a threat to his pound-for-pound status. Most is black people diminishing Bud Crawford out here in these streets. That's fucking ridiculous. Hey, he better be careful, Kofi's Universe. He better. Brian Castano ain't no joke. He said the goalpost outside the stadium now. Man, who knows what they're really doing with Spence, bro? Who knows what they're really doing? We don't know. He claimed he wants to come back early. I mean, is he gonna come back? We don't fucking know. Is he even gonna get through a camp? He didn't get through the last camp. And this is why I was stressing the Keith Thurman fight. Both of those dudes, really, though. We don't know if they gonna be ready. Motherfuckers falling off and shit, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Let's see how many likes we got. But there's not really much to say about the Brandon Figueroa fight, Fulton, unless we just want to break down the actual matchup. I think it should be a pretty good matchup. I expect Fulton to win, though. Obsidian Lion Cokeeper says Thurman is washed. He probably is, bro. And if you look at the Ring Magazine's new welterweight rankings, yeah, Ring Magazine, they got Bud Crawford as number 1, Spence 2, Ugas 3. Man, Thurman's not even in the top 10, bro. He's not even in the top 10. Keith Thurman's not even in the top 10 in the Ring Magazine welterweight rankings. They took him out of the rankings. So really, Terrence Crawford fighting a guy like Keith Thurman at this point will be him doing Keith Thurman a favor. Keith Thurman didn't give nobody no favors either. So really, truthfully, he don't deserve shit. And I do see where you guys come from when you say fuck Keith and he don't deserve shit. I definitely see where you're coming from. However, we ain't leaving no food on the table. We eating everything on that motherfucking table. We taking all them scalps. Keith Thurman's a former champion, one of the best guys, and we taking that name. We taking names so we got these names, these quote unquote names on our resume. That's what's happening. Yep. Actually, I reached out to Bomac too. I'm waiting for them to get back with me a date where me and him have an interview. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let you guys know when that's to go down. Hopefully it's sometime soon. Get Bomac on here so I can ask some questions. You know, we can talk about what's going on. Hopefully we can get some info on what's going next. What's next. You know, they ain't gonna try to give too much on that. But yeah, I'm gonna see what Bomac say, man. You know, I'm gonna let them wind down, let them, you know, let his schedule open up a little bit, then see if we can get him on here. Because I really don't like to reach out and shit. I really typically don't like to do it. But I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and reach out to Bomac and them, man. See if we can get him on here. But yeah, it's a shame that these dudes gotta go to these sanction bodies to try to get a fight with another champion, bro. But that just shows you that they really want these fights. That's what that tells me. Hit that like button. We got 47 people in here. We got 41 likes. Let's get like at least 45. Nope, Jason Williams. I'm still on, man. Still on. Yeah, that's what I said. Crawford, go ahead and beat up on Keith and get him up out of here. But I didn't want to keep hounding Bomac. I don't like to keep bothering these dudes. That's why I said I may have a problem going out on the field because I just don't want to be chasing around grown dudes for interviews and shit like that. Unless I can a person that could be everywhere every time, like a Ellie Seckback or something, just be everywhere. I'm not about to be out here chasing people and shit, man. I just don't see myself doing that. So I'd rather reach out online if I can and see if I could make something happen. Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, WJ. Keith don't deserve a shot, bro. And this is what I've been saying. He really don't deserve a shot considering how he's been acting. And I do believe in karma and all of that. But at the same note, what else you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Go beat up on Keith. Beat him up worse than anybody else did before. Get him up out of there. Get the payday. He go sell the fight. He go talk his shit. It'll be a lot better promotion from that fight than it would for Sean Porter any day of the week. And let's do it. Even though Keith Thurman may not be what Keith Thurman was or would have been if he had been on his shit, I still say make that fight. Get all these dudes out the way. So then what's Spence gonna do? Yeah, Terrence Harris. Keith is a great name for Bud resume, and Floyd Duck Keith and Spence don't want to fight him. It's a good name. Yeah. Pretty much, man. Go ahead and beat up on Keith. I don't know about waiting for 8 months, though. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman should have been like tuning up or something. So just in case there's no Spence. You just never know with the Errol Spence shit, man. It's been too long for us to really believe that it's going to be like 100%. So in the meantime, you go beat up on Keith, go beat up on whoever else you can beat up on, get a title at 154 if you can, and then that'll be that, man. I mean, it'll be unfortunate if we miss out on the Spence Crawford fight, but they really just trying to wait dude out. Wait to dude slow down. If Crawford beats Thurman, yeah, he would. Absolutely. Yeah. His resume will be better than Spence. His welterweight resume would be better than Spence's as well. Yep. Because then he would have beat these guys. Not only would he have beaten them, he would beat them in more impressive fashion. Because Crawford will stop Keith too. Crawford stops Thurman as well. Yep. And he'll definitely be pound for pound number one. Because of the names he beat. These are some of the best guys in the sport, period. Callum Smith and Rocky Fielding and all that wasn't looked at some of the best guys. Nobody was talking about them. But these guys, yeah, we've been talking about them. The Thurmans and Porters and, even Kell Brook to a degree. Yep. His resume be better than Spence's. He already got 16 title fights, Terrence Crawford. Or was it 16 title defenses? One of the two. He got 16 something. I mean, he's lapping these guys, bro. Accolades alone, he's lapping these dudes. He's almost 40 fights in with 28 knockouts. The only thing he hasn't done is been able to really draw on a pay-per-view, but we see how Bob Arum sabotages shit every time. See, they'll come out and say he's not a pay-per-view draw, but at the same note, they know why it didn't do well. I had people calling me, asking me how do they get the fight. My moms and my sisters asking me, how do they get the fight? How do I buy the fight? They didn't know how. Kofi said 17-0 and 14 KOs in championship fights. I mean, come on, bro. Dude doing big things. But see, they more focused on pay-per-view numbers and drawing power. Like that has something to do with the fans. That shit's crazy. So if Errol Spence is such a draw, then why not just make the fucking fight? He gonna be the draw anyway, right? Let's be honest. They'll pack the house in Vegas. They'll pack it. They can pack a 16,000 seat arena. I think that fight will pack the house easy. Everything else right now for that fight is excuses. The Charlo Andre fight is excuses too. Eddie Hearn and them dropped the bag on the table for Charlo. We know it. They'll put up big money for that fight over there. Why? Because they owe Boo Boo a fight. Of course, they go protect Canelo and them from him. They are. That's what they're doing. They're protecting Canelo and them from him. Triple G. Because they know those guys ain't going to fight him. No matter how much money they put. So they got to fight each other, man. But see, Charlo's content with just fighting these guys and making a lot of money doing it. Why would I fight Boo Boo when I could fight a Montiel and make the same money or more? He probably don't make more, but he make decent money for less risk. But even though his last fight, he looked like shit. Boo Boo Andre in his last fight, he ran dude out the ring. Boo Boo's been getting more active too. Should have hopped on him sooner when he was inactive. Now he's been pretty active. He already fought already. Y'all fought around the same time last time. He already fought since then. So he's been getting work, whoever will step up. Jason Quigley actually asked for that fight. And guess what? He got it. Like I said in my video, my latest video. Kell Brook asked for that fight. Guess what? He got it. Sean Porter asked for that fight with Bud. Guess what? He got it. Benavidez asked for that fight. Guess what? He got it. Felix Diaz asked for that fight. Guess what? He got it. Gamboa asked for that. Guess what? They got it. So who really out here ducking smoke? But see, a lot of people don't know that shit about boxing. All they focus on is pay-per-view splits and numbers and protection. To paint a narrative that it's this guy that's the best, but in reality, they need to really prove that shit in the motherfucking ring. Yeah, they look at sus, Jason Williams, definitely. Hey, that's what I said. Hop on Keith. Hop on Keith. You would have clearly surpassed his resume. You would have fought the same guys, and then you would have fought a guy that he's pretty much reluctant on fighting, and Keith Thurman, and beat him too. So not only did you beat the man in Pacquiao and Horn, say what you want about Horn. Horn beat Manny Pacquiao, who beat Keith Thurman somehow. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. You would have essentially you have the better resume. Mikey Garcia don't even count. He can't beat Sandro Martin. He's really a lightweight. That don't count. Chris Algieri, who? Lamont Peterson, he wasn't even he wasn't even the same. Lamont, that was a pass, like shot Lamont. That wasn't even a. So who did he really beat? A flat Danny? But Danny don't have a significant win at welterweight at all. That's why I said they paint these illusions, and they want to make things what it is. In reality, they're the best two guys in the division. They should be fighting. That's it. There should be no fixed fight. There should be no, especially if you for black boxing, there should be no such thing as a fixed fight and all this other crazy shit. There should be no such thing as he didn't really beat Porter and all that, and Spence ran out of the building because he didn't want to get sued and all this other shit. No, it shouldn't be none of that. They should be fighting in 2022. That's it. Spence and Danny ain't gonna do shit at 154 but get beat up on. Kofi. That's it. That's it. They just gonna get beat up on. They gonna fight some turkeys probably. They're not about to fight the killers. Them dudes are too big up there, man. They gonna be fighting at they gonna make their own weight classes, Spence weight and Garcia weights, and fight at like 150 or something. They get beat up on up there, man. They don't got the. I don't even think they got the hunger for that shit, man. They should have been moved up. Well, Danny's probably about right now. But Spence should have been moved up like 2 years ago. And now he may not even make it through his next camp. He didn't even make it through the last camp. He didn't even make it through the fight camp. Playing around. Spence fans get mad as hell when I say shit, but you know it's the truth, dude. Nobody hating on Spence. I like Spence. That's a brother. What you mean? But he should have been on his shit to being able to deal with Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford is serious fucking business. And in order for you to compete with that, you gonna have to be on your absolute best A game. No bullshits, no distractions. How you gonna compete with it? You saw how he turned up on Porter? It's almost like he was playing with Porter, carrying him, until he found out that Porter was up. He didn't even listen to his corner. He went out there. He wasn't even breathing hard. He wouldn't listen to his corner. He was just trying to figure out how the hell was he losing. He got up. He's like, all right, let me finish this shit. That's what type of person you're dealing with, bro. That's the type of person you're dealing with. A dude who could just, boom, turn it up. Motherfucker turn Super Saiyan. All right, let me just get this shit over. Turn Super Saiyan on that nigga and got him up out of there, man. What the fuck? It was so bad that Kenny Porter, and this is the narrative I'm pushing. It was so bad that Kenny Porter said, you know what? Let me get him up out of there for things get really ugly. Because I know what's likely to come. This dude then turned Super Saiyan. Let me get my boy out of here. It was the beginning of the round. And it would have got really, really, really ugly for Sean, who gets really reckless at them points of them fights. especially late in the fight. Sean Porter tends to get really sloppy and reckless. His dad knew what was coming. But see, you got bozos with followings that will tell you otherwise. But we know what we saw, and we know what was likely to come. We knew that that's one of the downsides of your father being your trainer. Now, another trainer probably would let the fight continue and then watch Porter get fucking mauled and destroyed. Because he wasn't dealing with Crawford after that. It was over with. He turned it up too many notches in one set. He just said, "Oh, I'm losing. Oh, nah." And got up out of there, bro. Almost like he was just playing with him leading up to that point. It was ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just turned it up real quick. But no, nobody don't want to believe what they saw. They don't believe that they just saw that. They think it was just Porter not being the best version of himself. And, Porter, Terrence Crawford just getting lucky or some crazy shit. This is the type of shit that they do. Instead of just believing what they eyes just showed them. Crazy. But yeah. I hope Teofimo Lopez. No. I hope George Kambosos at least finishes the fight. I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm rooting for Kambosos. Because Teofimo Lopez is annoying as hell. And I think it would be cool to see such an underdog have all them belts out of nowhere from taken away from such a little asshole. I think that'd be cool. Maybe he'll fight Dev, right? But Dev probably had to go to Australia to do it. That's probably just how that's going to have to be. But it'll probably be a lot of money on the table. Figueroa, Fulton, I expect that to be a good fight. Probably one of the, I don't know. I honestly didn't see too much of Fulton, but I've seen a lot of Figueroa, and I know what he's going to do. But I expect Fulton to win based off the little things I did see. He's the boxer. He's talented. He may put on a show if he could deal with the pressure. If Figueroa is able to deal with this dude's power, he could make it rough for him. Who knows? I expect a good fight nonetheless. But will these guys be able to get their shots if they mandated the WBC? WBC got to stay true, do something. They do all this shit for Canelo. Do something for these dudes. Make them mandatory so we can get these fights that need to be made before we mess out on them. Because the next wave of fighters is already coming. The next crop of young guys is already coming. We're going to be paying attention to these dudes. Let's see what we got in here. Hit that like button for your boy. Kenny did the right thing, man. Fuck that. Fuck that, bro. And if I don't want to show no clips or nothing right now, but if you watch it, when Porter tried to get up after he was banging, when he tried to get up, his hands like wobbled, like he was hurt, bro. I mean, he told you himself in the podcast. If you guys went to go watch the Porter Way podcast, that episode was really good. He explained everything. He talked about who's hit harder and all that shit, man. But the fans will tell you otherwise. Like they out here saying that Porter said that Crawford hit harder, and you see this crazy ass. I believe somebody probably made it up. But what Porter said, Spence hits harder, definitely. And like, wait a minute. No, he didn't say that shit, bro. He said something totally different on the podcast. He said he felt Crawford. He said he didn't feel Spence shots like he felt Crawford. He said Crawford shots was stinging shots. He felt them shits. He said Kenny saved Sean. Like, yeah, Sean would have been fucked up. Sean got a life after boxing already set up, man. He did the right thing. Fuck those guys. Porter's just so strong. He got such a strong will. He was able to fight that shit off and play poker. He said that's what he was saying. Like, we have to play Superman for the judges, for the fans, for everybody. He was hurt. But he would have been brutally stopped, AJ, if he kept going. Let's be honest. We knew what was going to happen. Terrence Crawford is probably one of the best finishers in boxing, if not the best finisher in boxing. Actually, he is. Once he gets you hurt, it's like 100% chance he's stopping you, bro. Victor Postal was the only guy and Crawford fought a different type of fight that fight, But even still, he was getting wobbled and dropped and shit. So, I mean, he's been running through everybody else. Even Sean Porter got dropped twice in a fight. Nobody never dropped him twice. You know what I'm saying? Wait. You said did they edit things out? Well, he said what? Jason Williams. Because I know for sure that's what I heard. He said Spence fans just said Spence better version of Sean and had him better than Crawford. No, he didn't. That was a back and forth. I thought Spence was soundly losing. The Crawford Porter fight was more like, okay, Porter's outworking Crawford a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? He has momentum. Crawford has momentum. Porter has momentum. It wasn't like, for me, it wasn't like Crawford was getting his ass kicked. It just like out of nowhere, he just turns it up like, okay, I'm losing. Oh, all right, let me get this shit over with. Oh, you say you heard the same thing, but you can't find it now. Wow. They might have, bro. And to be honest with you, as a content creator, I know about the shit you can do behind the scenes. Yes, you can edit this shit out once it's been posted. You can kind of crop that shit out. So Sean I should have saved that shit. I didn't think he would delete no shit like that though, bro. You know what I'm saying? He definitely said that shit. He said that Crawford, he talked about differences in power between him and Spence. His homeboy, the big black guy, asked him about it. Who hit harder? I think either that Pierre guy, somebody asked him about who hits harder. He said he felt Crawford's shots. He said it was like stings, like doom, 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 doom. He said, but with Spence, he didn't really feel that. He said the only thing he felt from Spence was when he got dropped. You know what I'm saying? He said it was like a snap. That's exactly what he said. He said it was like a snap. I'm not sitting here lying to you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I heard. May be misquoted a little bit, but that's exactly what he said. He said when Spence hurt him, he said when he was fighting Spence, he didn't feel shit except for when he got knocked down, but he said that was like a snap. You know what I'm saying? But he said when he was fighting Crawford, yeah, he said he felt them shits. See, that's what I said. He said it. So he might have edited that out, man. Salute to you, Red Kelly, bro. Yeah, we seen Spence face after the fight, man. It's just a bunch of propaganda. And this is why I gotta come on here and do these lives and keep spreading the truth. Because even guys that are supposed to tell you the truth ain't telling you the truth about this situation. They're trying to keep it one way. Let's just call it how we see it. Let's just call it for what it is. Terrence Crawford stopped Sean Porter. Errol Spence Jr. went to war with him. Keith Thurman went to war with him. Actually, Keith Thurman got a unanimous. Wait, did Keith get unanimous? I can't remember. Yeah, they might be cutting certain things out now, man. Wow. If I'd have known they was gonna do that, I would have made sure I saved that little sound clip. I would have made sure I saved that. If I'd have known they was gonna delete some shit, because now that's probably never nowhere to be found except for in our memories, and you gotta take our word for it, type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit out here and lie. I ain't no reason to lie about no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I always felt that Crawford was the bigger puncher, especially over time. Spence is draining himself to make the weight for too long. He's not running through these guys like he once was. Crawford is still doing the same exact thing he's been doing at a higher weight. It's a difference. Spence is still draining himself to make the weight. He's not getting the best out of himself. Yeah, okay. He says Thurman won by unanimous decision, Brook by majority decision, and Spence by split decision. Yeah, and people keep ignoring it. Porter made his biggest payday with Bud, man. Oh wow, wait. Lions Truth says I was at the fight. Kenny was screaming and hollering for that towel, bro. Wow. Yeah, because he never seen his son like that, bro. Let's be honest. Imagine if you was a trainer and you was training your son and y'all did this y'all whole career. He been in there with so many different guys. sparring as an amateur or as a professional, and you see him go through that for the first time, and you already felt in the back of your mind that he didn't put in the best that he possibly could have put in, you would have got him the fuck up out of there too. Also, you know he got a life after boxing already lined up. You know what I'm saying? He's already pretty good at it. You know what I'm saying? And he's in there with a fucking killer that's still hungry as shit. Let me go ahead and get him up out of there now. So yeah, they probably cropped and edited some shit out of that live, man. That's fucked up. They probably did, man. But I did save the part where Terrence Crawford said what he said about Boots. He mentioned Boots too, but I didn't put that on there on the video, but I still got it. Maybe they edited a lot of that shit out, man. I don't know. I didn't think they would do it. I didn't think that was nothing for him to edit out. Maybe PBC did make him do it. You know what I'm saying? Just so they can kind of save face with Spence to make him know like he's still a match for Crawford. I don't know. Well, all I'm saying is, if you follow boxing, you know that he hasn't man down nobody in quite a while. Yeah. I don't know, man. Kofi Universe. Bud said that he figured out Porter after the first round. Yeah, I know, right? And that sounds kind of crazy even for me. Like, wait a minute, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then again, the way when he found out he was losing, it's almost like, wait a minute, was this dude really carrying this motherfucker? Like, did he really do that? Or is it just him you know, because the way he found out he was losing and then went up in there and got him up out of there like that, or pretty much just closed the show, just like he just, all right, let me close this show. It got dudes can't believe it. They feel the fight was fixed. I wouldn't see what the agenda would be, but it's gonna always be this. It's gonna always be some type of excuse or something. Yeah, they got Kenny screaming and throwing the towel. Okay. Yeah. George Sikron says Crawford said in an interview that he was toying around with Porter, which is true because the entire fight Crawford was laughing and muscling Porter around, showing how much stronger he is. Yeah, he was lifting him up and walking around. Honestly, I haven't watched it again. I'll probably go do that after I get off this live. Just sit back and watch that fight again. Now that I, watch it again, see what really happened as things was going down. But yeah, man. These dudes out here spreading false narratives. Some of your favorite YouTubers, some of my favorite YouTubers, is spreading false narratives. They're not gonna keep it all the way real with you about this particular subject. They're just not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the smaller channels that's gonna keep it 100 with you about this particular situation. Why? Because we want to see the best fights. There's no real agendas. We just want to see the best fight the best. These dudes go get what they go get. They got to do a lot of promoting. They got to do a lot of this and that. They got to do some groundwork. That's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is the draw. Then it shouldn't matter, right? Charlo's the draw. Well, it shouldn't matter, right? Plus, Eddie Hearn and them go put the bag on the table for those dudes anyway. Money ain't going to be an issue for that one. Money's not going to be the issue at all. Name your fucking price. As long as we can just get you over here. Because I'm tired of paying this guy so much money every year to fight these type of opponents. Eddie Hearn paid Andre a lot of money for him to stay over there. They tired of paying him a lot, like $4 or $5 million a fight to fight Quigley's and shit. When they trying to get Charlo's, hey, he wants to smoke too. He pulls up on these dudes. They conferences. He wears t-shirts. He does it with all. He does a lot to get a fight. He does a lot to try to get a fight. But now if you do too much, you may be looking like you desperate. You chasing and all this other shit. Yeah, I'm chasing. That's how it's supposed to be. And why you running? You know what I'm saying? These dudes went to Hollywood, man. That's why you got to respect guys like Sean Porter. Because he never went to Hollywood. Yeah, he may have held on to his belt just for leverage, just to get the bigger fights to get a lot of money. But Sean Porter, come on. He wasn't out here ducking smoke. Yeah, I need to holler at Bernie again too. Need to holler at Bernie, see what's going on. I wanted to get Bomac on here for an interview, see what he says, see whenever he's available. Get Bomac, get an interview with Bomac, see what's going on. I tried to reach out to Boo Boo. Like I said, I don't really like to do all that reaching out and shit, man. I feel that once my platform becomes big enough, though, that it'll be hard for them to deny me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had a lot of subs, you know, they see them 20,000 subs, then they can't. It'll be hard for them to turn me down. That's just the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Blue Blood can get guys. Well, Blue Blood kind of probably burns on bridges because of the narratives he pushed. You know what I'm saying? He got big enough following to where these guys, you know. But whatever, man. Good live though, man. Good live. Yeah, hey. What did Leonard say? I heard Leonard said something about Blue Blood. I've been watching Leonard Ellaby interviews, man. He funny as hell. He a hood smart dude. You know what I'm saying? That shit funny as hell. He be talking shit too. But what he said about Blue Blood, I heard he was talking shit about Blue Blood. I don't know what he said though. He said, "Where's the white?" Kofi Universe says Jeff Mayweather said Crawford could have KO'd Porter early if he wanted to. That's what it seems like. I'm gonna watch it again. You know, I haven't watched it since. You know, I just been seeing little clips of the stoppages and shit. I'm gonna actually watch that fight again, and I'm gonna see. You know, because usually when you watch the fights, you be feeling a certain type of way, and you know. So I'm gonna watch it again now. When I get out off this and shit, and see what I really see. See if he was really playing with this dude. Man, Red Kelly, who knows if Charlo's gonna get that fight? I mean, Andre gonna get that fight, man. Charlo's is too Hollywood. He is too Hollywood. He make too much money for little amount of resistance. Yeah, Drevchenko's good, and that was a great fight. And Montiel showed up and showed out. You know, that was supposed to be a cherry pick, but it almost went wrong. You know, but why not just quit wasting time with those fights and get this show on the road, man? You know Jaime ain't go fight you. You know the Ramada guy. None of those dudes, man, those other guys, man, they not about to fight y'all brothers, man. They not. They're not. So you gonna keep chasing them and wasting your time, wasting your prime. Then some young motherfucker will come up and beat your ass. They gotta do this shit now. 2022 is the year where Crawford and Spence needs to happen, and Charlo and Andre. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.